Hey guys, what's up? It's Bibs7 here again, and welcome to my next soloing guide for the EoC. This is going to be a really in-depth guide on how to solo next, including all the requirements you need to get there, several different gear setups that you can use depending on your bank worth at the moment, and pretty much the exact tactics you need to know when you're soloing her. Now this is a lot different than when doing next in a team because you need to consider a lot more things and be able to do a lot more things without another person helping you. So it can be a lot more difficult than doing next in a team. So don't think that just because you're really good at team next, you can do it soloing. It's most likely that you will fail the first few times you try, but don't give up and keep persevering at it, and you will eventually be able to do it. That's what happened to me. I failed a good like 5 or 6 times before I got the hang of it, and now I can solo next no problem with pretty much minimal issues. Now there's a lot of requirements to solo next, so it's not something you can do just at a low level or not at max combat, because you pretty much need maxed combat stats to do soloing next. And one thing that you do need is a lot of money. Now it is easier to do next in a small team, so do it in a small team until you have enough money to get dual-wield Drygor weapons. You don't have to have rapiers, it can be any of the Drygor weapons, but you do need dual-wield Drygor weapons to solo next. I have never seen anybody do it without these. After the buff, I mean. People have done it before the buff and like before the EoC using other things, but since the buff on, I think it was January the 14th, I haven't seen anybody doing next solo without Drygors. So make sure you have these before you try to solo next. Next up is pretty much the stat requirements, because there are a few before you can solo next. First, you need 70 strength, which you obviously should have, as well as 70 hit points. And then you're going to need 70 agility and 70 range. These are all just to gather the key pieces that allow you to even get into the next boss room. So before you ever go to next, you need to get those stats, and then you need to go to each of the God Wars generals sort of lairs. Like you need to bang on the Bandos door, jump over the bridge to get to Zami, and you need to climb down the ropes to get to Sarah, or shoot the thing to cross over into the Armadillo area. Then kill the minions there, and eventually they will each drop it'll say frozen key piece, and then parentheses it will say Zamorak, Armadillo, Saradomin, or Bandos. Once you get one of each of these key pieces, you combine them together to get a frozen key. This will have 5 uses on it. And when it's out of uses, you can bring it to the armor stand in your house or to Bob in Lumbridge to have it repaired. But you need this to go through the frozen door and enter the next lair. So that's one of the prerequisites you need to have before you go to next. Another thing you should definitely have is the full Ancient Ceremonial set, which I have right here. You need the mask, the top, the legs, the boots, and the gloves. These allow you to skip the kill count to get into next, so it's very, very useful if you have these, because they will let you just go straight through into the next room without getting kill count, and pretty much nobody gets kill count while they're going to next. This is easily purchasable off the Grand Exchange, and it doesn't cost that much, and I'm pretty sure all these items are dropping anyways, so it's only around 300k to buy it. Another thing you're going to need when you're doing next is overloads, which is 96 Herbal requirement. And you need this because she will drain your stats with the cough thing that I'll show you guys when we're actually at next. And overload's the only thing that can consistently keep your stats up. And next week they're actually buffing how much overloads do to increase your hit chance, so that's probably going to make them even more required than they are now. You'll also need adrenaline potions, but if you have overloads you can make these, so pretty much you just need to make some of these. You need a super energy potion and papaya to make an adrenaline potion, so yeah, you'll need those as well for the blood phase of next. And pretty much after that, the last thing you're going to need is a pack yak. Unless you have a champion's tackle box, then you don't need a pack yak. But I can't imagine you having that if you don't have a pack yak, because you're going to need a lot of food when you're doing next, obviously, so you're going to hit you pretty hard, and you can pretty much only do it if you have a pack yak. So yeah, that's pretty much all the requirements. And if you want to have it be a little bit easier for you, get yourself a tackle box. This basic tackle box I have can hold 12 raw fish. You get these from the Fish Flingers mini game, which it's pretty easy to do. It doesn't take too long to get a good tackle box. And once you have that, if you bring along a bunyip pouch and swallow whole scrolls, when your yak is empty, you can dismiss it and summon the bunyip, and then withdraw the tackle box food and use the scrolls from the bunyip to eat the raw food. So that's pretty good, and it can help you out a lot if you're if you're struggling with a kill. You see in here I have a divine. You don't need a divine specifically. You can do it with a chaotic shield, or with a if you have to, you can use an arcane. I'm not going to be using my divine too much during the kill, but if you're new to soloing, it's probably best to wear the divine more often than not, just so you can use abilities like resonance to heal you, debilitate to weaken her, and rejuvenation and barricade and things, just to prevent you from taking too much damage. But it doesn't need to be a divine. It can be an arcane spirit shield or a chaotic kite shield as well. But if you have the money for a divine, I do recommend it over anything else. So yeah. Next up, I'm just going to go over the gear that I'm wearing. As I said, you need dual wield Drygor weapons, so I know that's going to be kind of hard for some people to have, but yeah, it's a pretty high requirement that you need to have before you can solo next. And you'll see I'm wearing full bandos besides the boots. It can be easily done in full bandos. This is my preferred soloing method, but if you have enough money for Torva, that will make it easier. I have enough money for Torva, but I don't feel like buying it because I don't want to lose money on it because it's crashing right now. But full bandos it's easily soloable in full bandos. If you have Tetsu, I recommend you wear that. If you have it, I am about halfway to getting my Tetsu. I have 100 plate out of 200, and once I have that, it's going to make soloing a lot easier, especially on the Zaros phase, because you can tank her attacks a lot better. But it can be done in bandos. It can also be done in void. I've done several solos in full void melee, and you're just going to have to use your shield a little bit more, but it is definitely doable in void. I have done it, so yeah, if you can't afford bandos, you can do it in void, but I recommend only doing it in void if you are a little bit more, experienced at soloing. So if you're not so experienced, go in with bandos. I have a Tokhar call on. If you don't have one of these, link on the screen right now to my guide to the fight kiln. It's pretty easy to do, and my guide will show you just how to do it. The Fury, you can use a Whisper, I think is the better one if you have it. I just like the way the Fury looks because, it's sort of like the classic amulet look. Steadfast boots, you can wear bandos boots if you don't have these, or dragon boots. Boots aren't all that important, but if you can afford them, definitely wear steadfast boots. Ring of Wealth is just the ring I wear. You can bring like a Berserker ring or an Onyx ring or a Third Age ring circuit thing, and then switch it for a Ring of Wealth. But the Ring of Wealth does help your drop chance, so make sure you either bring one to switch to or just wear one the whole time. Another very useful thing to have is the Penance Aura. If you don't have this, I definitely recommend you buy it if you have enough loyalty points, because it'll help you save a lot of space on prayer pots, because she does drain your prayer pretty hard, and that'll make your prayer go up with the damage she does to you. That's pretty much all you need to be able to start soloing next. So once you're ready, I recommend you set up sort of like a tab where you keep everything you need for next. This is what I have. I have my Ancient Ceremonial. I bring a Super Energy Potion to go so I can just drink it when I climb down the hole into the God Wars dungeon, so I don't have to walk, and tabs to Trollheim and my Frozen Key. If you're using this next solo guide, I assume you know how to get to God Wars. So I'm not really going to go over that too much, but make sure when you're going there you bring some food, because you might need it before you can get to the room before next, because there is a bank in the room before next, so you won't need to bring your entire setup when you're just going to the God Wars dungeon. So bring your Ancient Ceremonial set, your Frozen Key, make sure it always has at least one charge, your Trollheim tab, Super Energy Potions, and some food. Super Energy Potion not required, but it does help in saving you some time. So teleport to Trollheim, and then you got to run down the mountain. So yeah, I also recommend you have Ancient Curses, because I'll use Soul Split at one point during the kill, and it can help you out a little bit. And I also Turmoil obviously helps a lot, but I'm pretty sure you could be able to do it without curses, but it'll make it a lot easier if you have them. So yeah, there is that. Right now I'm just going to go over the ability bars I have set up for next, just to get those out of the way while I'm showing you guys the way there. Pretty much, I have the basic melee abilities. This is my dual wielding bar for when I'm not using my shield. Slice, punish, sever, kick, decimate, assault, destroy, slaughter, flurry, berserk, anticipation, and freedom. This is for when I'm not using my shield, and then I have a separate bar set up for when I am using my shield, so make sure you have both of these bars set up. This one has slice, punish, sever, kick, preparation, assault, rejuvenate, barricade, resonance, freedom, anticipation, and debilitate. So those are the two bar setups that I use for when I'm soloing next, one for dual wielding and one for using my shield. So once you've climbed down to the God Wars dungeon, you can drink your super energy potion and then run south right next to the Armadillo entrance, and you will see the frozen door right here. Just open it and your key, one of your charges of your key will be removed and you will jump through the door. You're safe in here, so if you want to rest you can, and then climb down the steps and you're still safe, so you can rest down here as well. Now what you want to do is protect from magic and use anticipation, and then jump through the ice stalagmite things, and get ready to use freedom because you still might get stunned even though you used anticipation. And if you need to eat, make sure you do so. Just run all the way over here to the east, and once you're standing, as you see, I got stunned. Once you're standing in front of the door, switch into your ancient ceremonial set and open the door, and you will walk through. And again, you are safe. So here is the bank outside the next room, and this is where you want to get yourself all geared up and situated and ready to go into next. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back when I'm ready. Okay, so I'm now pretty much all set up and ready to go into next. Pretty much the same gear setup as I said with my offhand in my inventory. I have the tackle box along with the bunyip and scrolls like I said explained before. And then what you want in your inventory is an overload flask, a prayer renewal flask. They don't need to be flasks, but I just prefer them. An adrenaline flask, Ceratome and brew flask. You might think this is useless, but it can help you out on the ice phase, which I'll probably be showing you during the kill. But if you're trapped in the prison, you can drink this while you're stunned. 2 super restores, 4 prayer pots. This is only if you have the penance aura. If you don't have the penance aura, take away 3 rock tails and put in prayer flasks. This is just to drink before you go in. Before you go in the room, drink either a super anti-poison or an anti-poison plus potion, and then put it back in your bank and swap it out for a rock tail, because she can poison you on the first phase, and this will prevent that. The rest has rock tails, and house tabs, and the rest is rock tails, and my yak is just full of rock tails. Now you come to the hardest part about next, and that is finding a world, because this place is jam-packed. So I'm going to hop around until I find an open world, and I'll see you guys when I do. But the kill is going to be post-commentary because I need to slow it down, otherwise I can't commentate fast enough to explain everything to do on each phase. So I will see you guys during the kill, and hopefully it goes well for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go find a world. Alright guys, so here's the next fight. The entire clip is slowed down 50%, and you'll notice there's a Vex in this world. I just decided to say fuck it and go in because there's nobody in the bank or in the room. But yeah, when you're ready to go in, you click on the ward, and then it'll tell you how many people are in. This one said no one is in the room. Then you hit yes, I'm ready to jump down. One thing I forgot to do was drink my anti-poison, put it in the bank, and take out a rock tail. So you make sure you do that. I kind of forgot. I'm going to start off dual wielding. I dual wield the first 3 phases and then shield the last 2. So yeah, that's just how I do it in this kill. You really can adjust it to your own sort of preference. If you're struggling, then shield the whole kill. But right when you get in, run to the middle and Nex will appear. She'll then call her 4 minions, Fumus, Umbra, Cruor, and Glacies. And right when she calls Umbra is usually when I overload and prayer renewal. Turn on Protect from Magic, Turmoil, and Protect Item, just in case you die. I mean, it's always good to have that safety. And then she'll say, Fill my soul with smoke. Attack her and use Slice, and then start running out of the ring. You'll see, I'll attack her, use Slice, and then immediately click to run away. Because if you don't want her just to be standing in the middle for obvious reasons, which you'll see later. Use Anticipation as often as you can during this phase, because she can drag you next to her and stun you, which and it'll also disable your prayers, and that can be very bad. So if you're using anticipation, then she can't stun you. You want to be protecting from melee during this phase when you're standing next to her, because she will do a lot of damage to you with melee if you're not. Try and build up to threshold level, and then when you see her say, "there is," use the slaughter ability, because she will teleport into one of the sides of the room and fly through the middle, saying "no escape," and this bleed will hurt her for a lot of damage usually. Mine didn't hit very well, but you know, there's that. You can pray mage for the first hit and then switch back to melee when you're attacking her again, but that's why you don't want to be standing in the middle, because that no escape attack can hit you very high and stun you as well. Pretty much once she's done the no escape thing, you want to start using your destroy and assault thresholds. You'll see right here I get dragged, and I had to react really quickly and use freedom so I didn't die, because I was being stupid and not eating up, and I didn't use anticipation, so that was a close call for me, but that was the drag attack that she'll do. So you got to be prepared for that always, and make sure you don't get caught off guard like I did, because it can easily kill you. And it's right here that I realized that I forgot to anti-poison, so I still had it in my inventory. But yeah, I had to hop a lot. Eventually she'll call for Fumus, don't fail me. That's when you run over and attack the minion Fumus. And if you're confused as to which abilities to use, I mean, you can just pretty much spam all your basics and then use like destroy or assault when they're done cooling down. On the minion, I like to use the flurry ability just because it makes it go by a little bit faster, but there is a damage cap on the minions of 1000, so it's going to take a little while to kill them either way. So pretty much I just use flurry and then just pretty much spam my basics on it. And you're going to want to pray mage when you're attacking the minion. I was being stupid and forgot until this point, so I was getting hurt pretty bad. But you guys will see I'll be able to do this kill pretty easily, even though I made some pretty bad mistakes even later on. Once you finally kill the minion, watch out, it might drop a piece of Ancient Ceremonial, but if it doesn't, you can just go attack her. And here is an important thing. She'll either say, darken my shadow, and then she'll either say embrace darkness or fear the shadow. If she says embrace darkness, just run away and make sure you don't get hit by the little black dots on the ground. And you pretty much need to run back and forth and attack her like I am doing during this entire thing. But if she says fear the shadow, then dodge the black dot, then use the assault threshold on her while soul splitting, because that can do a lot of damage on her. And then start running away and doing this hybriding method, because then she'll say embrace darkness. The reason you can do the assault threshold if she says fear the shadow is because the room is not dark, but when the room is dark, if you stand next to the next for too long, she'll start hitting you for around 500s pretty constantly, because it says the darkness starts to engulf you. So that's what you need to be careful of, but it can help you get some HP if you're soul splitting. And then once you finish doing your assault, you can switch to protect from range, which is what you're going to be staying on for the whole entire phase. So pretty much you want to just keep running back and forth and using an ability or two on her and then running away. If you get hit by those shadows, they can hit anywhere from 2,000 to I think around 4,000 damage. So make sure you keep your HP pretty high in case you get hit by one of them. And it's this phase is pretty easy and it goes by pretty quick. And I recommend dual wielding this one because your shield won't help you out that much during this phase. So it's pretty easy to do with just using your dual wields. The best abilities to use are Decimate and Sever, and I usually just spam Slice a lot because that'll just make it go by a lot faster. Once you're getting near to the end of the phase, you want to start trying to keep your adrenaline up pretty high, and eventually she'll call Umbra, don't fail me. So you want to run to the northeast side of the room, and you're going to have to kill Umbra. This is the most dangerous minion to kill because she will continue spawning the shadows underneath you as you're killing it. So you need to make sure you watch out, like right here at the beginning. She did it right away, but I was ready. So make sure you just run to the other side of the minion and continue killing it. While you're killing Umbra, you want to get your health up to pretty much full if you can. At the same time, keep your adrenaline up to full because you're going to need to use the Berserk ultimate on the next phase. And you're going to need to tank a lot of damage as you're killing the next phase, which is the blood phase. And this is where a lot of people might fail if you don't use the abilities in the right order. And as always, I said keep yourself ready to use the to dodge the black shadows underneath you. Once you kill the Umbra, you switch to Deflect Magic and then attack Nex again, and she'll say flood my lungs with blood. She'll spawn 2 Blood Reavers, which you can attack because she'll say a siphon will solve this and start to glow, and once she stops glowing, like you can see right when I attack her, she's done glowing, you want to use the Berserk ultimate ability and then drink a dose of your Adrenaline Flask, and then start spamming your basics. Use Slice, Sever, and all the best ones until you're up to your ultimate, not your ultimate, your threshold level, and then use Destroy. And if Destroy hits a 3000, that means it'll only hit one time. Like you'll see right here, I use my Destroy, it hits a 3000 and she does a little spin move. That means it's not going to hit anymore, so you can just move on to use your next abilities. And then once you have enough, again, use Assault. If Assault hits a 3000, it will hit 2 3000s. So once the second one hits, you can move on and use another ability. And I got kind of unlucky here because my kick didn't hit anything, but if it had, I probably would have been able to succeed the phase. But if you fail, she will say a siphon will solve this, and then you want to stop attacking her because attacks will only heal her. Usually you can get it in one try, but it's still doable if you don't, as you'll see. Once she stops glowing after the siphon, you can attack her again, and you should be able to do it this time. Just use your thresholds and basics as often as you can. Just the most powerful ones, use Destroy, Assault, and all those, and it should be pretty easy to finish off the blood phase. Just make sure you don't use any of the bleed abilities during the blood phase, like Slaughter or any of those, because those will heal her instead of hurt her, and it's obviously you don't want to be healing her during the kill. So pretty much she'll eventually say Cruor, don't fail me. Then you want to run to the southeast corner, switch to your Divine or whatever shield you have, and also switch to your ability bar for your shield, and then run and attack the Cruor. Now this minion is important, and I realized here I forgot to activate my aura, so that was pretty stupid of me, but yeah. This minion is important that you get your adrenaline up to full if you can, so make sure you don't use any thresholds or anything like that on him, because you want your adrenaline to be as high as you can possibly get it. I'm just checking here how much food I have left, and that's plenty for me. But yeah, there's not much else to say here. You just want to make sure you're keeping your adrenaline as high as you can, but if you have to eat, don't try and like risk it, and make sure you're always watching your prayer during the next kill, because if you're not praying, she will really destroy you then. So make sure you're always watching your prayer so you don't get hit for massive like 3000s and stuff like she will do with her mage if you're not praying. Once you've killed Cruor, your adrenaline should be full, so attack Nex and use poke her. Just don't use any special abilities, and then use Anticipation. I got Ancient Ceremonial Legs from Cruor, so always make sure you check that. And she'll either say, die now in a prison of ice, or contain this. If she says contain this, run away from her as fast as you can, and then run around a corner like you see me do here, so she will follow you out of that little ice thing she made. And then the next thing she will say is, after about 3 attacks, she'll say, die now in a prison of ice. You want to make sure you still have full adrenaline at this point. And if she says this 4, then you want to just use Barricade, because your Anticipation will make you not get stunned. But if she does it, she says contain this first, and like it happened to me, just use Freedom and then use Barricade, so you can absorb all the damage that she would normally do with that special attack. Around now you're going to have to re-overload, so make sure you do that, and you'll see the message in the chat, so just remember to do so. Each kill takes anywhere from 7 to 9 minutes depending on how skilled you are. After a few more attacks, she'll say contain this again, so make sure you run away from her. I usually run down into the middle and then run around a corner. You always want to run around a corner when she does contain this, so she gets away from those spikes that can potentially hurt you. Now after she uses the contain this, you want to use an ability or 2 on her, and then make sure you use Anticipation, because Freedom most likely won't be ready in time for you to use it to break out of the ice prison she's going to trap you in. When she traps you in the second prison of ice, you just want to eat up to full HP as fast as you can, as well as use the resonance ability, so the attack that hits you afterwards will actually heal you instead of hurt you, and you can survive easily if you use resonance as well as eat up to full. Now you want to just keep unloading all your damage on her that you can while she's in between her special attacks. And when she does another contain this, run towards the southwest corner of the room like I do here. I went a little early, but she did the contain this there, and then run towards the southwest corner and you can avoid it. And pretty much around now she should be getting around the health that she will call the glacies. So when she eventually does, then you can go and attack it, but you need to always be watching out for her contain this and die in a prison of ice attacks. Make sure whenever she uses contain this, you use anticipation afterwards. See, I forgot here, so I had to use freedom, but luckily it was available for me to use. So you really should try and remember as much as you can to use anticipation always after after she uses contain this. But there you see, Glacies don't fail me. Glacies is the final minion, and you run down here and attack her. I think it's a her, I don't really know. But yeah, Nex will usually follow you over to her, and if Nex is standing right there, you can do a little trick with the contain this, which I attempt and fail, but I'll show. You'll see it right here. The contain this will appear there, and if you run just to the west of the icicle I'm standing right next to right now, right after it appears, you can dodge any damage from it. But since I was within the range of it before it appeared, I got stunned, and that cost me some food. So don't do that. Usually it's kind of hard to do. But right here, I get trapped in a prison, and instead of eating up, I just use an adrenaline potion and use barricade. You sort of just need to adapt to the situation as you guys see fit. I could have eaten up there, but since barricade was available, I thought I'd save myself the food and just use barricade to stop the attack. Glacies is the hardest minion to kill, probably, because it takes so long since you need to keep moving away to dodge the contain this attack, and you keep getting frozen by the prison. This time, I just run straight away from the contain this attack because I don't want to risk getting hit by it again, because that was pretty bad the first time that it happened. And then I just run straight back in and attack Glacies. And you'll see here, you want to try and get it before she can call in another prison of ice. You guys, like right when you kill the Glacies, you want to jump right on Nex, and I managed to stop it. And now you're on the final phase, and she'll say, "Now the power of Zaros," and she'll usually start soul splitting, but if you're lucky, she'll start praying range. So when she starts to soul split, you pretty much can just do whatever you want in terms of attacking her. Just around 4 hits in, she will switch to pray melee. So drink a prayer pot, click under your feet, do whatever to stop attacking her, because that's actually deflect melee, and if you attack her, the damage will be reflected back to you, and it can do a lot of damage on you. So about after she does 3 attacks while she's praying melee, she will take it off, and then she will have nothing over her head, so you can just unload all of your powers on her, I guess. I'm still using a shield here, obviously, so the only good threshold I have is assault, but that can still do a lot of damage. You also want to be using debilitate as often as you can to make her attacks do a lot less damage, and that can be very helpful. You can also use slaughter and then use kick as the combination to make the bleed hit. She'll start soul splitting again soon, so get ready for that. Because she's going to be healing a lot off of that, and that's one of the main things that you need to be careful with, is that you always keep your prayer up, because her soul split will drain it. And then she'll pray melee again, and one thing you want to do is when she's done praying melee and she starts praying soul split again, you want to use the resonance ability and take off your protect mage, because if she mages you, it'll hit like a 3000, that'll heal you a lot. Also useful, of course, if you need it, you can use rejuvenation like I did. It's really just up to what you need to do. But as you guys can see, I'm getting ready to do what I just said. When she starts soul splitting, take off, and look at that heal. That was a massive, really lucky heal right there. And whenever you use resonance, you should use preparation afterwards, so your resonance cools down quicker. But yeah, take off pray mage for that one hit, and it could pay off a lot for helping you get the health back that you need. So pretty much you just need to rinse and repeat this process. Keep using debilitate, assault, resonance, rejuvenation, and if you need to, you can use barricade while she's soul splitting to prevent her from healing. Just do whatever you really need depending on your situation. But if you get lucky, like I did right here, she'll start praying range, and that means she won't pray melee or soul split anymore until she takes that off. And I just dismiss my yak here just in case I need my bunyip, but I don't end up needing it. And usually if she prays range, I switch to dual wields because that can help me out get the kill a lot faster. And I did one more resonance, then switched to dual wields and switched to my dual wield bar, and then I just sort of unleashed all my abilities that I had on her. Nothing really specific, but you know, just use all your thresholds. I started off with a slaughter kick. Yeah, that was a pretty low slaughter, but you know, it still did a decent amount of damage on her. And then of course you pretty much can destroy her pretty quick when she's using range prey, because she won't be using soul split to heal up at all, and you can constantly get damage on her because she also won't be praying melee at all. The hit that makes her sort of do the spin move like she did in the blood phase with 3000 during the Zaros phase is only 2000. So if your destroy hits a 2000, to just be ready to use more abilities, or you see like here my assault hits a 2000, then it'll only hit one more time and I'll have to start using a different ability. So that is pretty much it. You just need to slowly wear away her health. She's about dead now. And the last thing you need to do is make sure you dodge the Wrath, because when you kill her, she'll turn on the Wrath prayer and a big mushroom cloud will appear around her. You just need to run out of that range so you don't get hit by it, and then you can collect your spoils from the kill. There you see, taste my Wrath. It's pretty easy to dodge. It doesn't hurt you very quickly, and then your loot will appear there. This kill I got 5 magic seeds, but of course you could always potentially get some like next drop like Torva. But even still, I would make money if I just got magic seeds every kill, because that's around 1 mil, I think, is that drop. So making money here is pretty much guaranteed, even if you don't get a next item. So that's pretty much it for the next kill. I'm going to go ahead and jump off to a live commentary clip where I'm going to end the video off. So I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for my next soloing guide. I tried to go over everything you need to know when you're soloing next in this video, but I may have forgotten some things, and if that's the case, you guys can leave a comment down below with any questions you might have, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you have any extra tips that I might have missed out on, I could add them in on annotations if you just let me know in the comments down below. Also, you can ask any questions you might have in my friends chat in game, Bibs07. You can join that, talk to me, ask me any questions, or whatever you guys really want to do. Just chill in there. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you out. Good luck soloing next, and I'll see you guys next week. You can leave for another guide. You can leave a comment down below as well on what you want the next guide to be. I will see you guys then, and peace.